there's something in the mist, and ain't no goddamn gorilla either. Yeah, it's something worse than a gorilla. Shit, maybe this is a cool ass premise right here.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh, come on,
No,
man. This is one of the most popular Stephen King writing novellas of all time.
Yeah.
It was
You're
my
gonna tell
favorite
me
for a
that
long time.
you've decided that the premise sucks. Well,
Yeah.
Heaven forbid I don't like the premise. Oh, dear
well,
God.
I'm just saying that
There's
this is one of his most popular things ever, so shut the hell up, okay?
There's three people here who have read this, and yes, this goes against the image I'm trying to put out there, the lovable dumbass, but I do read occasionally. And, okay, I heard the audiobook for this.
I didn't know you were going for lovable.
Yeah, just dumbass. All right, and I have to say that.
They put out a large print version.
Yeah, I had the pop-up book version.
The Viewmaster.
Now, okay, fine. Wait, if we're going to talk about the premise, let me ask you something. I know they changed several things from the book. In the book, were they still extra-dimensional grasshoppers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the big thing.
And that's a great premise.
Yes, no, it is. It's like there's something from a different ecosystem. Let me explain the movie. There's this mysterious mist after a storm that takes over this small town. Now, at first, it's just like a fog, but for these people who are trapped in a supermarket at the time, they begin to discover that there's these creatures that are very dangerous and very big, and they're picking people off one by one who are caught in the middle of this fog. Now, what's cool about this is because it's not really clear where it's coming from, but it's not supernatural. It's not like some, zombies or something. It's actually monsters from a different ecosystem. I mean, they've obviously come from some other dimension or something, and that's what they do. They just eat what they see that's edible, and that happens to be people at the time. And the fact that it's a mist that takes over the town, which makes it more mysterious, I'm not going to speak for everybody. I can't speak for you, but I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, what makes this story good? What was always good about this story was not so much all the stuff you just mentioned. I mean, yeah, you got something out there that's killing people, but it's a Twilight Zone story where it's all about the people who are trapped in the supermarket and how they start to come apart and tear into each other. It's like the danger outside almost isn't as bad as the danger of the people inside.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And I think the movie actually covers that same feeling as well. The thing is that these creatures outside the mist, they're not evil. They're not intelligent. They're just animals that are predators, They're killing things because they're predatory. They're out there, and they're not trying to get into the supermarket where all the humans are trapped. They're too stupid to even figure that out. But if you're dumb enough to wander out in there, snot.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
But the
your
thing
ass.
is, the humans... we're messed up, right? We're messed up. We get all trapped in this place, and everybody starts taking sides and doing their own thing. And worst of all, Christ, the religious lady who won't shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have shot that bitch in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, Leon, you were right. It's like, who is the worst animal? The creatures in the mist are dun mankind. So look, I probably agree with you outside of just the premise itself. The reason why I'm mentioning the whole mist thing is because these motherfuckers in this store are annoying. I didn't like anybody. I just wanted a big old giant foot to step down on the supermarket and kill everybody.
I'm so right there with you. The Marcia Gay Harden, you're supposed to hate her, right? But you don't hate her like you hate Darth Vader. You hate her like you hate herpes. She just won't go away. She's just annoying. And every moment she's on screen, it's like, oh, God, she's going to talk. Oh, Christ almighty.
That's exactly how you're supposed to hate her. You're not supposed to hate her like Darth Vader. She's a religious nut. And she's like the religious nuts that you meet everywhere. She's exactly like herpes.
Now I got to say this because, in the book, that's how that character was. You just hated her, and she started pulling people to her side. And to me, that works really well in a book where I can intellectualize it. But I feel like in a movie, or just even listen to audio tape, hearing somebody say these words out loud and be that way, I just feel like people would like most people would look at her and go, "Bitch, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that what makes it so annoying is that people just don't follow rationales too well. I mean, Andre Braugher. I mean,
one of our greatest living actors, by the way.
Yeah,
I got to say that. I ain't seen the movie, but
if one of these white people had said, "This nigga's crazy," I wouldn't have got mad about it because he is.
Michael Richards would have been going, "This nigga's crazy," and he'd be like, "You know what? Normally I'd beat your ass, but I got to throw in with you on this."
Well, there's a part in the movie where they're telling Andre Braugher, they're like, "Look, man, you just saw somebody die in the mist. Now we got tentacles back there. We got a dinosaur head. We got limbs." And Andre Braugher, in the middle of all this stuff, it's like, "Oh, no. Y'all playing a trick on me." And I'm like, damn, man, how many people have to tell him that?
We black people, we got our issues.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently.
We've been bamboozled. We've been hornswoggled.
We're not falling for your white man's evil giant monster tricks again.
Yeah, my daddy got lynched believing there was a monster in the mist one time.
And it was. It wore a white hood.
dude.
No, I'm sorry. So now what's your opinion of the movie? Because you don't like anything about it.
I really wanted to. I love Frank Darabont. Of course, he did Shawshank Redemption. He did The Green Mile, which I'm all right on. And he did The Majestic. And I really love him as a director. But here, this movie's it's just bad. I mean, and it just starts off bad. It's like staggering to find itself from the beginning. Some of the acting in the beginning is so... there's that scene where they walk outside and they first see the mist coming down off the mountain. And they're like, oh, what is that? I don't know. It's some kind of mist coming down off the mountain. Yeah, that happens sometimes. And it's like, oh my God, what happened to Frank Darabont? And then you go through this movie where you've got all these annoying characters, and then you get to that ending that is different from the story.
It is.
Stephen King said, you have to write an ending. And so he said...
he never wrote one. That's the thing I didn't like about the story. The one thing I didn't like about the story was that it didn't really have an ending.
And so he decided to go the Stephen King route and write a really horrible ending to what could have been a cool story.
Now, in all fairness, I wasn't crazy about it just because if I didn't like these people that much, I had to stick with them that long, I would have liked something pleasant to happen, but I think it might work for some people.
Let me say this, not having seen the movie, but having been told ahead of time that this was the worst ending on the movie this year, and then having Corey tell me what the ending was, I got to say, I thought that ending was awesome.
I got to say, I thought it was awesome, too. I thought it was totally just... somebody come out of the theater and said, well, I saw that coming a mile away. And I said, how? How could you possibly have seen... Name one other movie that they did this in, and there isn't one.
The Twilight Zone. Because this whole movie, this whole story is basically a Twilight Zone episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one where where there's a blackout on the street and all the neighbors turn on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then this ending, from what I hear, is so much like a Twilight Zone ending that to me, like, wow, that's the perfect bookend on this whole thing.
Well,
Except, Leon, that it really is one of those endings where it's so forced that it doesn't just happen naturally. Like, it's not what occurs in the ending; it's the progression of how it happens, and just the delivery of it is just it's so. It's hard to describe. It's just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Wait! I know what would have made it perfect. And I'm not going to say Scooby-Doo.
Okay. And it's not going to be Batman, is it?
No, nothing with Batman, nothing with Scooby-Doo. What would have made it perfectly would have been the simple musical notes. Dun, dun, dun!
Yeah, no, actually, you really feel that way. You really feel wrong.
I couldn't disagree with you more. I enjoyed this movie all the way through. I understand the acting was a little subpar, especially from Thomas Jane, who I've never particularly bought as like a more serious actor. He's a campy actor, and this is a campy, fun horror movie in a lot of ways. And it didn't really bug me that some of the acting was over the top. Marcia Gay Harden does a great job, though, I thought, as a religious nut. Yeah, she gets under your nuts and makes them itch. You just want to take the bitch out. The only real problem I had at all were some of the special effects. The ones that were totally CG just didn't really work, but that's because this was stuck with kind of a small budget. They were conceived creatively. The idea behind them was cool, but it just didn't even look vaguely real. But this kept me all the way through it. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it had lots of tension. It was a lot of fun, and I absolutely adored the new ending. I thought it knocked it out of the park for me. I walked out of there happy as can be.
Okay, I'm kind of between you two. Marcia Gay Harden was a great actress. I thought she did a good job, but the lines that she was given, terrible dialogue through that whole middle part. And like I said, I didn't like any of these characters. I agree with you. Some of the special effects are kind of cool, and then some of them are really bad. There's a scene with a tentacle reaching under a door. You could tell that shit was done on.
That
shit was done on a PlayStation or something.
I have a question, Corey. Where were these good special effects? Did I step out for a few minutes because all I saw was crap?
I thought the scenes with the spiders were kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought the spiders looked great.
I thought that. In fact, there's a scene in there where they're being attacked by spiders, and that's actually a really fun, cool scene, and it's nice and gory and everything, and it's kind of suspenseful. So this movie, and I agree with you, because when I walked out of it, I was like, I don't hate this, because really, it is shot kind of cheap, and if you look at it the right way, it will function very well as a DVD rental, almost like a B-monster movie. And that's the way I saw it, and I kind of had fun with it. As a good movie, I can't really say it's all that great.
You know, it commits a big sin when it opens up. We have this opening shot that comes in, and we find out that, of course, our hero paints movie posters for a living, and there's a big movie poster of The Thing. Now, here is the classic movie, John Carpenter, bunch of guys trapped in a room together while monsters are trying to get them. And here we have that exact same film merged with John Carpenter's The Fog, and it isn't a pimple on the ass of either of those movies.
Well, so, I mean, big deal. You know, there's posters back there in the background. Who cares? I mean, the thing is, it's like, I give this movie, I give it a rental. I mean, because like I said, I think that's what it's perfect for. The special effects aren't that great to be seen on the big screen. And like I said, some of this stuff is just, some of this acting, while done by good actors, just, they were given bad dialogue and they performed badly.
And honestly, while I see all your points, totally see where you're coming from, it just on a whole won me over regardless. I see these things and still loved it anyway, the way you love like Evil Dead 2 or something like that. I was just like, you know, it's filled with flaws and problems, but it has literally just charmed me. And I give it a full price.
No,
it's one of those type movies for me.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I really do. I'm glad some people are enjoying the movie. And,
oh, dude, some old bullshit.
Damn.
okay, damn.
No, dude, I didn't enjoy a single moment of this movie. I walked out depressed. It was just, it was lame. It was incredibly lame.
I think that's kind of harsh, but
Perfect scene for a tentacle to come grab him.
I know. I think that's what's going to happen. You know,
as he's talking, he had this mist coming in.
no, that's perfect. That is
Actually,
perfect.
you know, I mean, I can do a little bit like going off right, following that up.
No, that's perfect. What you did, that was natural. That'll be just fine. And as far as the ending goes, I can see some people hating that ending. I can see some people liking it. I myself saw Stephen King walking out at the end of the movie and be like, "What have we learned here, kiddies? Who is the greatest monster of all? Humankind or the creatures?" And it's like, shut the fuck up, Stephen King.
No, it sounds like a total William Castle movie. And you wouldn't expect him to come walking out like that.
Yeah.
But I love this review because y'all got like the full range of ratings. So the poor viewer really has to make up their mind. So,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay.
oh, you got what you got here is a whole range of ratings. You got full price, matinee, and some old bullshit. So what do you? Oh, I'm sorry. No, you got full price, rental, and some old bullshit. So who do you follow as a viewer? Corey, Cyrus, or Carlisle?
Dun, dun, dun.